Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1038. And we're back again. After our little break, we're back again. Welcome back, everybody. I've got some amazing announcements.
Ooh.
I have some amazing announcements. Amazing. I mean, I can't stress how amazing they are. One thing that I have to announce is this Friday we're doing our Patreon private show, DP Idol. It's going to be a musical competition, which everyone is welcome to join, but you can't watch it unless you're at least a $5 patron. You should sign up for it, and those of you who are interested in entering, the winner of the competition will win a DP Smoke Pan Everyday shirt for the first place win. All we need you to do is send us you performing 3 songs to Ben at drunkenpeasants.com before the competition happens this coming Friday. I need it by then. And then we will have everyone go head to head to head to head to head and see who is the DP Idol.
Yeah, this is the 4th one we've done.
Yeah, and for, a few of them were like back to back. And this one, it's been a while. I think maybe almost a year.
Yeah.
I can't remember when the last one was, but
It's been a minute, but I've been talking to a lot of the DP fan base, and there's a lot of people sending in stuff, so it should be entertainment.
the fan base is abuzz, they would say.
They're a buzz.
They're abuzz about the DP Idol. Another announcement, summer is around the corner, and that means that from now until the end of summer, which I think is September 22nd, we are doing the DP Summer T-shirt sale over on our Teespring store, which is linked below. If you use the promo code DP Summer 22 at checkout, you will get 25% off your entire order. But that's not it. That's not it.
That's not even it?
I'm stealing your catchphrase.
That's not even it?
That's not it. There's a bunch of new stuff on there.
Oh.
There's a whole bunch of new stuff. There's stuff that was designed to go on the Teespring store years ago that was never put up. That's up now.
Oh, wow.
Things that were taken away are back again. 25% off your entire order. I mean, I'm telling you, like there's like this one that's like a cartoon version of the old cast. There's Ben is in the tweeds. There's, oh, dude, you and me as sexy ladies.
That's actually the best shirt. Everybody should own one of those.
25% off your entire order. This, the new stuff, the old stuff, all of it, everything you see here on the store. People have been asking for a flag forever. They stopped making flags at Teespring, but they make wall tapestries, which is basically the same thing.
A lot of people say that's a flag, except Supreme Flag enthusiasts.
Supreme flag. And then there's all the cool old stuff. I mean, it's endless. There's Dinor. There's all the like hashtag band shirts. There's the Salty Paul shirts. There's all this stuff. Manatees, macaroni and cheese. I mean, it never ends. There's some new stuff down at the bottom too. I got this. We have this shirt that has Pol Pot on it, and it's crossed out, and it says Smoke Pan instead, and it's Pol Pot.
I think that's a lot better thing to do every day. Smoke Pan.
Yeah. And then all the DP logo branded stuff, towels, blankets, posters, coffee mugs, you name it.
You could pretty much live your entire life.
This should just be your wardrobe. You'll have more clothing options than Jared Genesis could ever dream of. So, yeah. You got time, and actually a cool thing Teespring does now is they'll break it up into payments.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You could just buy a layaway, a little piece?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like split it up across like 4 payments or whatever.
Yeah. It's funny you brought up Jared Genesis. I think if...
See, it says paying 4 payments of $625 with Afterpay.
Oh yeah, if you use the Afterpay option.
Yeah.
When you brought up Jared Genesis, I could totally understand why somebody would not want to take one of these shirts off for 2 months. I can understand that.
Look at this one.
That's a really good game. Everybody should own that.
Sweet Boys.
The Super Sweet
game.
Boys Drunken Peasants BDO game. Everybody should have that T-shirt. Everybody.
It's blowing up now.
But especially fans of our podcast. Get the Super Sweet Boys T-shirt. Get the Ben and Billy as naked women.
Yeah, it's epic.
Or sexy women. They're not naked. I was undressing them with my eyes.
The one that's like you even has the eyebrow thing going on.
Yeah, photorealistic. Those are actually my curls on her body. My tits too. They just changed the rest of the frame.
Yeah, so don't forget DP Summer 22. Put all the items in your cart, go to checkout. You'll get 25% off whatever your order is. It's a good time to bulk up on all of your DP accessories and fun stuff like that.
Get in there. There is a beach towel.
There is a beach towel.
Get your beach towel and go swimming.
Yeah, so that's all we got aside from, liking, and someone mentioned they got unsubscribed from the channel involuntarily, so make sure you're still subscribed. We're going to watch a little more of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. It's almost over. I think it's supposed to end at the end of this month.
Yeah, it's I think Friday they're supposed to be wrapped up with it. I don't know if...
Yeah, there's closing arguments, and then there's deliberations. I don't know how long that'll take. Depends on how long it'll take the jury to figure out what their verdict is. But closing arguments will be, I think, Friday. It's going to be crazy. They've been talking about Johnny Depp possibly taking the stand again.
Really? I thought he wasn't going to, but...
Well, they were talking about him possibly doing it. Like, if he gets called to the stand, he has to go.
Yeah, I heard that her team doesn't think he's credible, so they don't want to bring him up.
Okay, well, I mean, he's involved.
Well, yeah, well, I don't think they want even to have him on the stand.
They think he's too likable is their problem.
Yeah, but they're saying he's not credible. That's their excuse.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into that right now. Wow.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
Link is in the description for the Teespring store, by the way. It's the very first link in the description if you guys want to check it out. All right, here's the cross-examinations are the best part. So I'll just give you the gist of what this guy said before he was cross-examined. He's a psychiatrist. He did a mental evaluation on Johnny Depp, although he did not actually speak to him, which you're supposed to do. This guy's a kook. He's a weirdo. He's a quack. He's a clown. We'll see exactly what I mean once we watch him. But so he got questioned by Amber Heard's team first, and he basically said Johnny Depp shows signs of cognitive decline and narcissistic personality disorder. He was diagnosing him on all these mental health issues. And this is the cross-examination of...
When the woman diagnosed Amber Heard for the...
She had actually interviewed her.
She had interviewed her, okay.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, this guy's a psychiatrist. I think that other person was like a therapist. They may have been a psychologist. There's different types of mental health people. There's like licensed therapists who, they have probably like a master's degree and they get certified. And then there's like a psychologist and they have like a doctorate.
Did this guy mentally evaluate the movie characters?
Yes.
What the hell?
and then there's a psychiatrist, someone who specializes in mental health, but they're also a medical doctor and they can prescribe medication and everything, and they're like a full-on doctor. They went to med school and everything. So this guy went to med school. This guy's a weirdo. He looks like Jim Carrey in that one movie. You know what I'm talking about? Someone said the name of it in my stream last night. I can't remember his name right now. Someone will mention it in the chat.
Count Olaf from a series of unfortunate events.
Yes.
The mini snickets.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought he looked like Jordan Peterson to me.
This guy right here.
Damn.
No, he looks like this. Seriously, it's ridiculous. All right, let's listen to it.
Cable guy.
Sir, I'm Wayne Dennison. We haven't met. But let me ask you, let's start with what you finished with.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Let's start with what you finished with. You understand that the court was twice asked by Ms. Heard's counsel to order a medical exam of Mr. Depp, and those motions were denied.
I think the
doesn't he look like him?
Yeah, he does. I was getting like Jordan Peterson vibes at first, but now that I've seen the Count Olaf picture,
yes.
Why is his hair all frazzled too?
Is it windy outside?
I don't
maybe?
know. I feel like someone before he went up would be like, "Hey, let's get this intact."
Right.
Your team told the court you didn't want to have them, and the court ruled on them, right? I don't think the court...
This guy's a total buffoon. I cannot believe this guy went to med school and graduated and is like a respected psychiatrist, because his performance here is piss poor. I would be asking for my money back if I was Amber Heard, because these people get paid a lot of money to be expert witnesses. They get paid a ton.
Proactively did it. You kind of had a motion to them, right?
No. When Ms. Heard's lawyers moved for them and asked for them and did not get them. Isn't that right, sir?
Johnny Depp's lawyer here talks to him like he's a toddler that's getting scolded by his mom. It's insane.
If you're saying that's what happened, my understanding was that you all did not want him to undergo one. They petitioned for it. The court said no. Yes, that's what my understanding of it was.
The court said no to ordering Mr. Depp to do the medical exam.
Right, I said the court did not require it, right.
And there was one that was ordered, in fact, right?
There was...
All right.
Oh, now they're approaching.
Yeah, there was one that was ordered. It was Amber Heard.
Yeah. That didn't take long.
All right.
Unless it was edited.
The last thing you talked about was the Goldwater Rule.
Yes, sir.
Been around for almost 50 years, right?
Also, this psychiatrist sounds like he's heavily medicated. He's got that, like, deep slur, almost like the Joe Biden slur kind of thing. And he says words only like half of the word. It's really weird. I'll point it out.
Yeah, I'm 59. That sounds about right.
Yeah. And it's been around as a result of a presidential election that you referenced.
Yes.
And who has that rule? What organization maintains that rule?
The American Psychiatric Association.
An association you're a member of?
Association that I'm a member of, yes.
Yeah. Aren't you a fellow or something?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So
yes, I am.
He's like a Muppet. I feel like Christopher Lloyd is playing this guy for comedic effect.
I said that last night. I said that he should play Rick in the live-action Rick and Morty movie.
Right?
It is an ethical rule. And yes, it's ethical. They say rule.
There's a point later where he's like
it's an ethical guideline.
You'll see.
Yes, they're guidelines.
Mm-hmm. And You know that over time, the American Psychiatric Association has amended the rule, so it's not just about diagnoses, but it's also about professional opinions.
Could you be more specific, say, about professional opinion in regard to what?
Well, let me read this and see if you're familiar with it. It is unethical for a psychiatrist to offer a professional opinion about an individual based on publicly available information without conducting an examination. That's the rule, right?
If you're reading it directly, I will believe you.
Okay.
If you're
However, a diagnosis is not required for an opinion to be professional. So my question is,
Woo! Yes, thank
Shane
you.
said.
Thank you.
diagnosis that this Goldwater Rule applies to, it's professional opinions.
So again, I'll reiterate that would come down to essentially nullifying witness testimony, expert witness testimony, without.
Okay, this is foreshadowing here because this dumb motherfucker here nullifies his own testimony. By the end of it, I'll play the end of it even if we don't watch it all. I'll go to the end because he nullifies his own testimony.
God,
he does.
Direct evaluation, and as we know, it didn't happen. But regardless of that,
is he on coke?
Expert witness testimony.
He's on Gatorade.
I feel like he's coked the fuck out of his mind.
Everybody in this trial is. Remember, Amber looked like she was doing bumps.
Anything would be basically rendered null and void.
The rule, in fact, contemplates that issue, doesn't it, sir?
Again, I'm just telling you the answer to the question. When you're reading me those statements, I'm telling you the response by the other side, who publishes also, is that if that was the case, there could be no expert witness testimony in the courtroom.
Psychiatrists are ethically prohibited from evaluating individuals without permission or other authorization, such as a court order. That's the rule, right?
Again, if you're reading that, then I have to believe you're not misrepresenting it.
Well, how would you not know? You're a psychiatrist. And you're like older too, so you've been doing it for a while.
And I would come back to, again, then this whole thing on we might as well get rid of all the expert witnesses we've had throughout all of time for court proceedings. Because what you're saying is unless a court orders it, and that's what you just said, or the APA said, then therefore expert witnesses cannot do an evaluation based on an observation of the medical records. Insurance companies cannot do evaluations solely based on medical records where their doctors rendering professional opinions. So at the end of the day, you are essentially saying that unless someone has directly evaluated...
Listen, he's trying to straw man him here. He gets reprimanded by the judge at one point too. She's like, just answer the question, sir. Just answer the question, sir.
This whole medical system we have, this whole legal system we have is null and void.
I'm not saying...
No, yes, you are, sir. No, you are.
Give me a second, and I'll give you more than a second. What I'm saying and what I am reading to you is a rule by your organization that takes into account that there could be court orders that would permit the exact kind of evaluation that you say I'm eliminating.
And I think we're going in circles because I think I just said that means expert witness testimony would not be allowed, and the branch of forensic psychiatry would be especially hindered. And we know the branch of forensic psychiatry does not prohibit that. So
he just tried to say forensic psychiatry. He said forensic eye.
Forensic eye.
Yeah, the forensic eye.
That's my favorite fraternity.
Yeah.
Testimony would not be allowed, and the branch of forensic psychiatry would be especially hindered. And we know the branch of forensic psychiatry does not prohibit that. So I am a member of the APA.
He's got a mouthful of marbles.
That doesn't necessarily mean every single thing they put in there, everybody has to uncategorically agree with.
Uncategorically.
That's not the case.
Did you agree in your deposition
He meant
that
uncategorically.
The professional opinions you rendered were inconsistent with the Goldwater Rule?
Yeah. My first was inconsistent. If we're saying that if the Goldwater Rule says, and I very much said that during deposition, that the Goldwater Rule was made for presidents and public figures such as that, but regardless of that, because that's what it was made for. It's not made for Hollywood, but I'll even take that Mr. Depp's a public figure. What I'm saying to you is that the Goldwater Rule is saying we cannot do any expert witness testimony in our field. That is exactly what the Goldwater Rule is saying based on exactly what you read. And I'm just telling you what you are saying that rule encompasses.
What I'm asking you, sir, is did you comply with the ethical requirements of the APA when
is he a frog?
When rendering the professional opinions that you've rendered today?
It is a requirement of the APA. It is not the requirement of the APA. Secondarily,
so the answer is no.
Secondarily, again, in order to not, we wasted our whole morning because there was an expert witness before me. There's an expert witness everyone brought in. So all I'm saying to you, that means the whole field of medical legal law is corrupt and unethical for engaging in an act that the APA clearly says we should not do. So if you're saying that, then the answer is yes, I'm agreeing with that statement.
You're agreeing that the APA would deem your testimony and your professional opinions rendered unethical.
I am saying you are saying that I'm an expert witness. I am saying as an expert witness and solely as an expert witness, that guideline is permitting that from occurring. I would say then that the whole field of expert witness testimony, again, would be disavowed by what you are quoting in the Goldwater Rule.
So he's like, my expert witness testimony must be valid or else none other expert witness testimony from now until the beginning of time is
within
valid.
the psychiatric field, he's saying, right?
Yeah.
And we know.
Forensic high.
Well, he said all of the expert witness testimony, even.
I thought he added within the psychiatric field to it, but
we would not be allowed to do it.
And you said the rule was for presidents, right? And
that was initially for presidents, yes.
Well, and the name of the rule came from that. But the rule says it is unethical for a psychiatrist to offer a professional opinion about an individual. That's right, sir. It's not just presidents, it's not public figures, it's individuals.
Funny, it was named after them. According to your logic, if you don't put something in the title, it's not true. That's what you told me this morning, I believe, about my intimate partner violence. So what I would say to you then, sir, is that if you say this about an individual, again, any court would have to render an expert witness testimony invalid. Any doctor that reviews charts would have to render it invalid. I can go on the list of docs that do not see or interview patients.
When they get to the movie stuff, it's ridiculous.
Directly, and that's a violation. So basically, you are saying that unless you do a direct clinical evaluation, then all of the field of forensic psychiatry and all of managed care is doing an unethical violation because we are not seeing the presence. We deny patients medications all the time without seeing them. We deny patients treatments, unfortunately, without seeing them. And I'm on the receiving end of that. So the answer to your question, again, unless you are saying to me that all of this is unethical, which is what you are saying. This is how I'm interpreting what you are saying to me. That unless you do the evaluation directly yourself, therefore, it cannot be considered ethical. And I'm telling you how that's applicable to not just expert law, but also managed care, and applicable to multiple branches of medicine. Hospital duration of hospitalization stay, they get evaluated. So tell me where you want me to end this.
Well, why don't we talk about what you just testified to? Because I didn't ask you anything about that. I asked you whether, under this rubric, under this principle of medical ethics, have you acted unethically? Yes or no?
No. As an expert witness, I have not acted unethically. And if you want the jury to believe...
He makes it sound like Johnny Depp has dementia because of all the drinking and drugs that he's done.
Nice. He must be a really good psychiatrist if he can figure that out just by watching his movies.
Believe that expert witnesses are unethical, then I guess that's for them to decide.
Yes,
This
That's for
reminds
them to
me of
decide.
when Amber Heard was like, "Yes, I pledged $7 million." Or, well, did you? Well, I didn't ask if you pledged. Did you spend? Did you send in $7 million to the donation? Did you pay it off?
Right.
Yes, I pledged the $7. No. Did you ever pay it? And they argued for way too long about her not doing something.
I pledged it. Yeah, because she knew that's something that they can verify she lied about. That's why she was like very careful.
Then she's
in
like,
her
I
language.
couldn't send it in. I was being sued. And then they're like, Johnny Depp didn't sue you until 13 months after the money was sent to you.
Right.
So
over a year.
Well, were you just preparing? Like, what was going on?
She was
enjoying
having
a pillow fort.
She was enjoying having $7 million just given to her.
I did enjoy that
let's
too.
go to the next question.
And I'd enjoy fucking Johnny Depp to get it.
Hey.
Right? Psychiatric diagnosis occurs in the context of an evaluation based on thorough history-taking, examination, and where applicable, collated or collateral information. You'll agree with that?
I believe I said that earlier, yes.
Yeah. And it's a departure from the methods of the profession to render an opinion without an examination and without conducting an evaluation in accordance with the standards of psychiatric practice. Correct?
Well, again, by the way, for the record, intimate partner violence is not a psychiatric diagnosis. I'll start with that. Substance usage by themselves is not a psychiatric diagnosis. If you want to cut to the chase, psychiatric use is not a diagnosis of that. Narcissistic personality traits is not a diagnosis. Ergo, I am basically commenting on the things that were brought to me, which are not diagnosis. But an evaluation, if I was going to treat a patient or anyone here, those are the steps I would take.
I think, started with the notion that this rule applies broader than diagnoses.
He'll stab you with all
Applies
four
to
of my
professional
fingers.
Opinions.
I believe
and
you
you've
just
rendered
quoted
professional opinions relative to narcissistic personality traits, haven't you, sir? Relative to Mr. Depp.
Again, I believe you just commented on what it takes to do in a psychiatric evaluation to establish a diagnosis. I'm almost certain that's what you said. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't
He
say
just
that,
murders
but I'm
every
sure he
word
did.
that comes out of his
and
mouth.
therefore, what I'm saying is neither IPV nor substance usage nor narcissistic personality traits is a psychiatric diagnosis. And then under the rubric of expert witness testimony, you are saying I acted unethically under the rubric of expert witness testimony. So if you, sir, would like to proceed that expert witnesses are unethical, based on that, I am not going to sit here and disagree with you and waste everyone's time. I think it's fairly obvious.
Waste everyone's time when weather permit.
These are your words. I'm just saying them back out.
I waste everyone's time when weather permit.
Let's start with the easy question then. Maybe we can.
That was pretty easy. Go ahead.
All right, Doctor, you're going to have to just answer the question.
That was pretty easy.
Sorry about that.
And the judge is like, hey, just
You
answer.
just answer the question.
Okay.
Doctor.
You are not rendering any diagnosis whatsoever of Mr. Depp today or ever.
What was that?
Depp, today or ever.
Like, what is this?
Just say I'm offering a professional opinion by request of the Amber Heard's counsel.
There's so many Photoshop options with this.
Yeah, you can make him eat a giant hot dog.
Ooh.
With extra mustard and relish.
No, I probably would say to you that certainly I would not say narcissistic personality, or I would say traits.
What?
I'd say traits.
Certainly, from what I have read, intimate partner violence is not a diagnosis. So the answer is no for that. Narcissistic personality traits is not a diagnosis.
Narcissist personality trace. Narcissist personality trace.
Who needs words?
Narcissist personality trace.
I like him, actually. Me and Brett Keane do similar things when we're talking. So, like, I think this guy's a fucking genius. Problem is the world's not used to genius speak.
I probably would say to you that certainly I would not say narcissistic personality, or I would say traits. Certainly, from what I have read, intimate partner violence is not a diagnosis. So the answer is no for that. Narcissistic personality traits is not a diagnosis. The answer is no. But if you want to tell me that substance use disorder is a psychiatric diagnosis, the answer is yes.
But that wasn't an issue, was
Narcissic?
it? Whether Mr. Depp used substances. I mean, you said you've gone through the record. That wasn't really an issue at this trial. He's said it from day one.
Oh, so you're saying he's already admitted to the diagnosis?
He's already admitted to the use of the substances.
Well, again, there's a difference between admitting to substance use and substance use disorder.
Let's go back to what you just said about narcissistic personality traits.
Yes.
That's not what he said. He said narcissic personality traits.
Your Honor, I obviously had narcissistic personality traits.
Narcissistic personality disorder is a DSM-5 diagnosis, correct?
Correct.
Diagnostic personality, and you haven't testified that Mr. Depp has narcissistic personality disorder, have you?
I would certainly, if I didn't, I'm certainly thinking that, but at least I'm going to say he has traits, which are characteristics of provisional diagnosis of, it's a provisional diagnosis, probably narcissistic personality disorder. But yeah, I mean, I do believe that.
Well, when you say provisional diagnosis, you know the DSM-5 requires, in order to find that diagnosis, 5 of the 9 factors. Mm-hmm. And you haven't done that analysis. You've never made that diagnosis. You've just identified certain factors
that are criteria for the diagnosis.
Right. But you need 5 of 9 to get to the diagnosis. You've already told us that you didn't make a diagnosis. You're just
like historically, we had the O.J. Simpson trial. That was a huge, big watch for TV,
and that was a criminal trial.
Yeah, that kind of kicked off like the public really, really following trials beat for beat.
Yeah.
What have been some other ones that were like this big since then?
There was Michael Jackson. Remember, he was like showing up to court in his pajamas and stuff like that. There's been a few. The OJ one was really huge.
Yeah, the Casey Anthony trial, I remember that being big.
That was another one. Mike Tyson.
Traits, correct?
I'm identifying traits that are consistent with the diagnosis, yes.
Right.
Mike Tyson was before OJ, though, actually.
And did you testify?
But the OJ one was way bigger. OJ, and I don't think the Mike Tyson one was like every moment of it was live. I don't think Casey Anthony was either, though.
In deposition that the existence of
the Menendez brothers, that was one. Yeah, I remember that.
That was another one.
That was a big one.
Disorder doesn't have a correlation.
Rittenhouse.
Yeah, Rittenhouse trial was huge.
IPV.
If I said traits do not have a correlation with the, if that's what I said, and I don't remember saying that, but that wouldn't be a correct.
Oh yeah, George Zimmerman. Yep, that's another one.
Remember they had like Nick at Night, and then they would do like TV Land, and they would do all the old shows, like they'd rebroadcast them. They should have a channel that's just like court TV, but it's all the best court of all time.
I think that's already been
with
done.
The diagnosis, yes.
I just rewatch all that shit.
How far are we going to back this up? Because there's a diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder, right?
Yes, sir.
And that one is has some correlation with IPV, right?
Narcissism has correlation with IPV. Again, you're not allowing me to answer. You're splitting hairs. You're splitting hairs between the traits that are consistent with, which all I'm commenting on is behaviors and traits that are consistent with the diagnosis and Mr. Depp. Narcissism absolutely has risk factors associated with IPV.
Let's go back again, and maybe we can.
Yeah, so there were other high-profile trials before OJ, but OJ was the first to be like almost the entire trial live on TV.
Focus on the question I ask you, and we can get an answer that's addressed to that question.
Mm-hmm.
Narcissistic personality disorder is a risk factor for IPV, yes or no?
Yes.
And you've previously testified that there is no literature at which you are currently aware that the mere presence of narcissistic traits is a risk factor.
We got Miss Arkansas back there again. She got a trench coat on this time.
For IPV.
Oh, she trenching.
Am I answering the question?
Where
Yes.
in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's
she's
incorrect.
back there.
You didn't testify that.
A cluster B traits, which narcissistic personality disorder is part of, is a huge risk factor for intimate partner violence, which include cluster B traits include narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, amongst others. So the answer to the question is,
he's got that Biden slur that makes me think he's medicated. And Biden's way older than this guy. This guy's probably like
I think he said he was
early
59.
Oh, yeah. I was going to guess late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, they said 59 earlier,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure that
Oh, yeah.
do you think this guy has any diagnosable disorders?
No idea. Should I be like him and diagnose him?
I'm saying, like, I can't just look at this guy and not think he is dealing with some shit. Like at least some sort of narcissistic disorder. It's definitely cluster B, right? He's fucking psycho. He doesn't sit right with anybody.
A lot of people, when they're, getting educated on becoming like a therapist or a psychologist, they'll go into therapy themselves.
Yeah, very regularly.
Yeah.
They go into therapy looking for answers on their own and then become like professionals at it.
Well, and like some will do it. Like a lot of times, it's if you haven't done it already, you do it as part of your education in it too. So you know what it's like to be on the patient side.
every resource on intimate partner violence will support that cluster B traits, where narcissistic personality falls under, is a risk factor for intimate partner violence.
Any single trait is a risk factor for IPV.
Again, I will repeat, cluster B traits.
Oh,
I didn't say any trait.
These guys
I
should
said
fight.
Cluster. No,
Let me be more precise then.
Okay.
Any narcissistic trait in and of itself is a risk factor.
This is Johnny Depp's lawyer at the podium, right?
Yes.
And
He's
then
cross-examining their expert
his
witness.
lawyer in the blue tie there. They look like they could be brothers. They look
Both
very
white guys wearing suits with brown hair.
And they both have kind of like impish, devilish noses and ears.
Okay.
For IPV.
I do not believe they are related.
But you are mischaracterizing what I said. What I said, I'm pretty sure I said cluster. If you look at all the intimate partner violence literature, and I would behoove you to do so, you will see that cluster B traits. I didn't say narcissistic per se. Cluster B traits, where narcissistic personality disorder is part of, are risk factors for intimate partner violence. Part and parcel, uniformly true.
So all he can say is, there's these traits he's showing that might make him a narcissist, and maybe he could take part in domestic violence. It's so uncertain and so uninformed that this guy is this. I mean, honestly though, this guy's getting paid. He's probably making thousands to do this.
I'll say this much. I have not ever been diagnosed with any cluster B personality types, and I think I could have hit Amber Heard for half the shit she did.
And I'm not sure, the thing I don't understand is I'm not sure why we're arguing psychiatry, because I'm telling you what it is.
Dr. Siegel, you just need to answer the questions.
Okay.
Wow.
So you want to talk about cluster B, so let's do that for a minute. Borderline personality disorder is a risk factor for IPV.
As part of cluster B traits, yes.
Oh, no.
Histrionic personality disorder
Oh, shoot.
is a risk factor for IPV.
Less so.
It's not good.
But it
Less so.
Amber Heard paid this
It's a risk factor,
dude.
but less so, yes.
Amber Heard probably paid this guy like $5,000 to $10,000 just to like do what he's doing here, be on the stand for like an hour.
Less so.
He's at the top of his field. You would think he'd be better at this than he is.
It's hilarious.
All right. So which traits under narcissistic, before I move on there, there's only been one diagnosis in court of personality disorders, correct?
Oh no.
I'm not sure who you're referring to.
Yeah, he starts to just flat out lie and like dodge questions.
Well, maybe he didn't watch that part of the trial and doesn't know.
Just wait until the Marlon Brando stuff comes up.
I want to know about the Marlon Brando stuff.
Are you referring to Mr. Depp, Ms. Heard? Who? I'm not sure what you were talking about.
Do you understand that there was a medical examination done of Ms. Heard?
Yes, I did.
Do you understand that the testimony was ultimately that Ms. Heard suffers from 2 personality disorders?
Okay, so I'm just being specific. I just wanted to know if you're talking about Ms. Heard or Mr. Depp. So that's all I was asking you.
Yes or no to my question?
Which was there's only one diagnosis of Ms. Heard was diagnosed with that.
Yeah, and both of the diagnoses are in cluster B, and both of them are risk factors for IPV.
But both those cluster B things are. I'm not allowed to comment on the testing, so therefore, all I can say is that cluster B traits, and I'll tell you what they are. And by the way, I testified this before, which was that 1, I don't expect perfection from my victims. 2, absolutely there were cluster B traits Ms. Heard had. Absolutely, Ms. Heard had.
Given that you've testified to it before, let's move on to a new question.
So now he's saying she has cluster B traits too.
Well, yeah, he's agreeing with the documented proof that's there, right? Like,
so he's not really saying anything. He's saying they both display cluster B traits, but she's denying all of her alleged abuse on him.
In your opinion today, that you thought, well, why don't we move a little differently? Are you a member of the American Medical Association?
No.
Okay, so you don't know what the ethical rule of the American Medical Association is relative to doing clinical diagnoses about individuals you've never talked to.
So you're saying in terms of doing expert witness evaluations under that rubric, right?
I'm just asking you, do you know the AMA's rule?
You're saying the AMA's ruling under the rubric of not doing evaluation with someone you did not see, and I'm questioning, I'm asking, so you are talking about expert witness testimony?
No, I'm talking about, do you know the rule?
I'm not a member of the AMA, so I don't read the rule.
We can move on, you don't know the rule. All right. You rendered an opinion about Mr. Depp's purported cognitive impairment.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you
If
use
no
as a
one
base?
going to talk about how Johnny Depp lawyer sounds like Bernie Sanders? Get money from my union janitorial job, my dude.
I appreciate it. He doesn't sound like Bernie Sanders to me. I'll listen a little closer, but he doesn't sound like him to me.
A baseline for processing speed?
Yeah, for analyzing Mr. Depp before you watched his deposition.
Bernie sounds older than this guy. Bernie's like, like this.
Bernie sounds like he writes porn
baseline
fanfic.
for that.
He does.
I mean, I
or
guess my
did at one
baseline
point.
would probably be
Nobody cares about your damn email.
how I've seen him interact in public. How I've seen him interact with others. I've seen him interact in media. I've seen him interact and his process speed is certainly not slow. I've seen him do commercials. His process speed was not slow.
A deposition.
You've seen him do commercials. Those are like edited.
Look, I diagnosed Johnny Depp cluster B personality type because of his Welch's grape juice commercial from 1984.
He's also like, they talk about an earpiece. I guess there was like, he heard a rumor that Johnny Depp was wearing an earpiece on set, so he diagnosed him with cognitive decline because of that.
Saying that
but it's like anything could have been on the earpiece. Sometimes they might use the earpiece for like direction or whatever.
They could be giving him direction directly into the ear while he's on set without having to disrupt the other people in the scene with him.
Yeah,
and give him like private direction.
Yep,
there could be a whole lot of reasons for that.
Performance in lots of
Johnny Depp should have stuck with that earpiece instead of picking up that dime piece Amber Heard.
What I said was I've seen Mr. Depp do apology ads. I remember he did an apology ad with Bad Dog with no delay in process speed. I've seen him interact with the media regarding to that. I saw no delay in processing speed. All I'm saying
Let me ask you about pirates, though. You compared pirates to the to the depositions given in this case.
Then I apologize for what I said. Then I misspoke.
You misspoke? You didn't make the comparison?
Right now, just a second ago? Just a second ago, I may have said that I misspoke. I apologize, I misspoke.
Okay. Because you know you can't compare pirates to sworn testimony, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do realize that.
But as an aside, you can't judge someone's processing speed at any time. Like, I'm judging yours right now, you're judging mine. We all judge processing speed.
Yeah, but you're with him in person. You're not watching an edited movie with like cinematography and stuff and like background music and
We all can judge whatever the fuck we want anytime we want to, but we're not the judge, jury, and executioner. We're not here to like put our evaluations of people on the stand. This guy is, so he should probably keep it to what is presentable in a fucking court of law.
This guy is like a doctor for mentally ill people and prescribes medication and shit.
I'm 100% sure that this guy runs Arkham Asylum. Probably fucking did some dirty shit to Christine Weston Chandler when she got locked up in Arkham. Really evil son of a bitch.
Here it comes. Listen to this part. This part's
As a baseline, because of what we know about each other, I would say your process speed right now is not slow. So, I mean, we're judging processing speed. I'm just saying to you.
Yeah. But no, any of Mr. Depp's other portrayals in movies, did that affect your analysis of processing speed?
Only I've seen him interact on interviews, and that was it.
Right.
When he wasn't in movies.
Right. But Willy Wonka doesn't matter to you? You see him in that movie, Charlie and Chocolate Factory? Did you look at that one when you were comparing his processing speed?
Look at him. Look at this weird shit that he does.
What is he eating a ghost pussy? What is he doing? What are you doing? Because I think he just realized that the guy was making having a laugh.
Yeah,
and then he got all like weird.
He's mad.
Yeah, he's like weird, angry. This guy, I don't know. I want to meet his wife. She must live in fear.
He asked the judge if he has to answer this question.
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
You have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
No, you'll be happy to know I didn't see Willy Wonka.
What a great expert witness. He tries to not answer questions.
Well, the guy was fucking having a laugh at him, right? Like
the judge, no one objected, and the judge wasn't like, "Hey, you're out of line." So,
yeah, this guy has to answer the questions, but he's like, I'm not gonna fucking entertain this prick.
He's gonna have to.
Well, yeah, of course.
I didn't see 21.
That's what I'm saying. His job is essentially to do what he do this well.
But also, he just told them that he didn't watch any of Johnny Depp's films to make this diagnosis. He watched interviews. And then they went in and said, "Did you watch Willy Wonka?" For one, he wasn't even in Willy Wonka. Ooh, I wish I was on trial. Amber Heard would walk away fucking clean as shit if I was her expert witness.
Street when it happened.
I'd lawyer the fuck out of it.
No, I did not.
All right. You made a very kind admission, I think, early on in your deposition, that you're not claiming to be a better actor than Mr. Depp. That's correct, isn't it?
100%.
All right. But with respect to acting, you know that actors actually rehearse for their parts and work on the language, diction, timing of their dialogue as part of that rehearsal?
If you say that, I'm not an actor, so I don't know what goes on. I can't tell you. I have no idea what goes on in acting.
Okay, but you don't know enough about acting to know whether actors rehearse?
Sir, I am not an expert in acting. I have no idea what an actor does.
Okay.
I can hear this guy's fucking mouth off camera.
He's sipping on his Gatorade.
I can hear him.
He's sipping on his Gatorade.
During your deposition, what were the circumstances under which you decided to call Mr. Depp an idiot?
He did. he's like, there's all this dirt on him too, how he's biased, like horribly biased.
I'm just somebody call Mr. Depp an idiot?
Yeah, you called Mr. Depp.
Everybody who's saying that he played Willy Wonka, the lawyer said that Johnny Depp was in Willy Wonka. So yeah, of course he played Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. When you're on the stand and they're picking your words apart, you got to be smarter than that lawyer. You got to hit him when he slips up. You got to pull the rug and fucking murk him. This guy's a
idiot in your deposition.
You got to hit him. You got to hit him back.
So I think it was in the context. I think it was in the. You probably should read the context of it, because I think the context was, and I'm trying to think back. Okay, and what I thought it was related to was if you're coming to some deposition. Okay, and again, I'm thinking back. So you have it in front of you.
Spit it out.
I don't. So I'm thinking back where he's coming in from Europe for a deposition, video deposition that he gave, and he took it overnight the night before. And what I think I said was that if you're going to do a major thing to a trial that you're involved with, I think you'd be an idiot to come in the night before.
All right.
So I didn't call Mr. Depp an idiot. I certainly called that planning an idiot. I didn't call him an idiot.
So
I called that planning an idiot.
He's an idiot are mistranscribed?
No, I'm sure. Again, if I said it in that, if you're just reading one line, one snippet, I'm sure it was in the context I just said. But again, you have it in front of you. I don't.
Yeah. Is idiot a professional opinion?
I wasn't rendering professional opinion.
Yeah.
No.
Is it a psychiatric opinion?
And that follows the Goldwater Rule.
How does it follow the?
Oh, you just said that. I'm not rendering a professional opinion. I just said idiot. That's not a.
No, so idiot is not a professional opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your practice to describe people as idiots?
My practice to describe people. In my practice? No, I don't describe people clinical.
What's with these faces?
This guy has like an unhinged Dr. Oz energy.
He's something else.
Cases as idiots, or patients as idiots, or victims as idiots. No, sir.
But you sat for a deposition in this case and described the plaintiff as an idiot, correct?
You gave me 9 hours of deposition, and if I said the word idiot, it was an idiot in planning. It wasn't making him an idiot. I don't know Mr.
What?
Depp's
I just
IQ.
called him an idiot. It wasn't calling him an idiot or anything. All I did was call him an idiot.
Under those circumstances, the idea that he would not prepare properly would consider the lack of preparation an idiot. Not Johnny Depp himself. Just his maneuvers he chose to use were an idiot.
An idiot.
I don't know his overall functioning, so therefore, if I said it, it was an idiot in planning, which is what I meant to come across as.
All right. So you did say you don't know his overall functioning, but you made some testimony today as to some evaluations you made relative to his functioning. You would agree with me that it's probably a good idea to think about the questions that are asked you in a court proceeding before answering them.
Am I allowed to answer that question?
Yes.
Okay. So what I meant by function, what I said by function, I believe that his agent reported how late he was showing up to every movie while the cast is waiting for him. I believe that would be an impairment. If I showed up late for that, I would not be here right now, would not have a job. Okay? I believe the thing was in terms of balking out of treatment for substance rehab that his doctor is prescribing for him. So if you're asking me if that's an impairment of functioning, I would say I'm very much substantiated in that.
I'm trying to understand how you got to this notion of cognitive decline. And I thought it was based, at least in part, on the manner in which he testified.
I'm sorry, what?
On the manner in which he
You know,
testified.
thinking about this guy on the stand, maybe he was the most credible person willing to put his credibility on the line against Johnny Depp. You know? It's like they probably went through a whole list of people, the credible people, and they were like, no, I'm not going to fucking vouch for Amber Heard.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not sure.
And they just went down the list until this guy, who was like drinking a scotch while staring at a dead baby, was like, yeah, I'll do it.
I would say there are other people who could spin this narrative way better than this guy. This guy is...
Of course, but this is who they were. This is who they could they could get with the most credibility. The one thing about expert witness is they have to have some history of expertise, right? When you pull on an expert witness, they really must have dug around just to get him.
I'm not being terrible. I'm sorry. What?
I was asking you about the cognitive decline testimony that you made.
Yes.
And it was my understanding that at least a portion of that testimony...
Somebody says this guy has horrible Yelp reviews. Is that true?
He got Yelp bombed.
Oh, I want to see his Yelp reviews before
we'll pull
this.
Those up.
Before this. I want to see the old ones.
Was that you derived some evidence of cognitive decline from the way Mr. Depp testified?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I said, yes.
Right. And so all I'm
Agent Buttfuck says this is a functional addict under pressure. Yeah, it really feels that way.
Don't you think it's a good idea when you're in the middle of a court proceeding to answer questions carefully?
Again, professionally, we diagnose patients with a neurocognitive disorder by gross evaluation all the time with cognitive. On the thought that, again, age normal controls. I'm just saying, age normative controls does not put a 58-year-old gentleman at that processing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I said.
And this is a 59-year-old gentleman, so he knows.
Without ever
he was 58 just a year ago.
To the man.
You mean me directly talking to him? Because we know how I derived it. So you're talking about me directly talking to him?
Yeah, you never talked.
No, I've never talked to him.
Right. And this exam you gave, well, you did talk.
This guy's local to Virginia.
About Dr. Blaustein, right?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that the entirety of Dr. Blaustein's medical records are 12 pages of handwritten notes.
The important part was what I said. For me, as an example of cognition, which I'm trying to prove, which is what you asked me, the important part was what I said. And that was irrefutable.
The important part is that he gave the mini mental status exam?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk about the mini mental status exam. Scored on a 30-point scale, right?
Yes.
All right. And it's an exam that basically is most often used for what, Alzheimer's, dementia, those kind of testing?
It's an exam that tests cognition in all psychiatric illnesses, not just Alzheimer's. It was made for dementia, for Alzheimer's, but is the standard, has been the standard for testing cognition in all psychiatric illnesses, substance use disorders.
It's the test that Trump wanted Biden to take. Yeah.
Okay. Now
take the test. Everyone like the stream, please, if you haven't already.
There is an
please like the
element
stream.
of that exam that requires drawing, correct?
Yes.
So you don't know what drawing Mr. Depp did or whether the drawing should have been fully scored.
I wasn't questioning his visual spatial perceptual skills, which is what that does.
Right. And you don't know what score Mr. Depp received on the exam.
I was very specific. I know 3 words, not remembering at 5 minutes. That's all I said.
3 words, not remembering 5 minutes, and he remembered one of them, right?
From what I understand, he didn't remember any of them.
All right. Memory on the exam. Out of the 30 points, what's it worth? 3. 3, right? Memory is 3 out of the 30.
Yeah, memory is 3.
Okay.
But again, the memory section in and of itself tests memory. That's the only question that tests memory. Only section that actually tests memory.
So he's like, oh, he has a bad memory.
It's the only section you're testified about. And for all you know, that with respect to the exam that you're relying on, Mr. Depp scored 27 out of 30.
And that would be telling, though, cognitively, if you score 27 out of 30 and you miss 3 points on memory. That would be very telling.
He scored 27 out of 30 points on this test.
Mr. Depp had been up all night the night before.
But he's saying, like, oh, man, he's like basically dementia, you know?
Again, you wouldn't expect to not recall any words at 3 minutes unless there's a cognitive issue.
You don't know if Mr. Depp was high.
And again, now that could affect memory, but I'm not refuting that. I'm not refuting.
You don't know. He might have been high.
He could have been high. He could have been drunk. He could have been using cocaine, and that would absolutely affect his memory, which is what I said. Yes, you're right.
So ultimately, you have no idea what state Mr. Depp was in at the time he took the exam that you're relying on.
Short of what you just said about drugs and alcohol, okay, there shouldn't be a reason why a 58-year-old also with strokes and other neurocognitive conditions, but short of that, there shouldn't be a really good reason why someone at that age shouldn't come up with at least one. But an answer.
But wait a minute, you started that question with short of drugs and alcohol, and spent 35 minutes talking about his use of drugs and alcohol. Isn't that right?
Oh, I'm agreeing. I thought I agreed with you. I think I agreed. I said that drugs and alcohol can absolutely affect cognition. I'm not sure. I agree, but I'm not sure if that's a problem. I agree with you on that.
All right. So you don't know, one way or the other, how he scored on the exam. You don't know whether he was at the time on drugs and alcohol, but you're going to rely on it in your testimony to say that he's cognitively impaired.
Which is what we do in clinical medicine, sir.
Okay. You rely on tests that you don't know when it was administered, you don't know the score of the test, and you don't know the state of the person being tested, but you're going to rely on it anyway.
Again, if we had to know every test, when people get the mini-mental state exam, we have no idea clinically if they are high, wasted, stoned, stroke. We have no idea. So if you're going to say that means everybody needs a drug test before they do a mini-mental study, and that's not the standard of care. And I think you know that. So
I think you know that.
Let's talk a little bit about this word you kept using, correlation.
Uh-oh.
You know the word, right?
Yes.
Correlation and causation aren't the same thing, are they, sir?
No, they're not the same thing.
No. How are they different?
Correlation is consistent with causation, means direct link.
Can you say that again? You were so fast I didn't hear it.
Sir, you're slurring your speech. You sound like you're high. This guy might be projecting all of his issues onto Johnny Depp.
Possibly.
He might have cognitive decline.
Correlation is a risk for something happening. Causation is a direct link.
Right. So just because something's correlated doesn't mean it's going to happen.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Like lung cancer, for instance. Smoking is very highly correlated with lung cancer, right?
Yeah, and there's certainly a link to lung cancer and smoking.
Right. But not all smokers get lung cancer.
Not all smokers do. No one, like I said, no one fits the curve perfectly.
Right. And you made repeated testimony to all of us. All of us do this. All of us do that. Mm-hmm. Your suggestion about all of us is you're just looking at the world as a sample and not at any particular individual, correct?
What I'm looking at is that I'm not talking about an individual, how they can or cannot be resistant. What I'm saying is invariably, when you use substances, this is going to happen. Now, is there a 0.05% chance that someone who does? Absolutely there is.
What is this?
Absolutely.
What is this? What are all these arguments?
Absolutely.
But is that medical degree of certainty? Absolutely not.
A 0.05% chance of what, sir?
Of eventually developing symptoms. If you're using excessively, eventually you're
with
going
all
to
his
develop
movements,
symptoms.
like originally we thought like he was a little like Christopher Lloyd, you know, but now with all these movements, maybe Michael J. Fox should play him.
Oh my God.
Right. But risk factors tell us nothing about any one particular individual, do they, sir?
No, again, risk factors tell us nothing except that they have it, they're at a higher likelihood of developing it. That's what tells us.
But you did a whole litany of risk factors relative to IPV.
Yes.
Right. And none of those risk factors tell us anything specifically about an individual.
Other than they're at higher risk. Right.
Right. So someone could have every single risk factor for IPV and never commit IPV, right?
It would be, again, if you're going to say a medical degree of probability, the answer is they will. But if you're saying uniformly, the answer is no.
Right. IPV can occur without substance abuse.
Oh, sure.
Someone can abuse substances without ever perpetrating IPV.
Again, absolutely. But, again, you are saying different than what I said. I did not say abusing substances. I said substance use disorder. Those are two different things, because there are surely people who use substances that do not engage in any violence, do not become psychotic, nothing.
Some people who use substance.
At all. So
and that's equally true of people who have substance abuse disorder. There are certainly people who have substance abuse disorder who don't commit IPV, correct?
They are saying people who have substance use disorders, the majority of them, over 50% do.
Yeah, Agent Buttfuck brings up a good point. This man would have stole the show and won the case had he just been able to reach 1.21 gigawatts before being called to the stand.
So over 50% do. So that's medical.
The answer is
run for it, Marty.
As you said, not everyone who smokes gets lung cancer.
So there are significant numbers of people. You said it was over 50. So you'd say
Johnny Depp's sweet talking his lawyer right now. This is boring. Why don't we get out of here? Go somewhere else.
You want to go drop a grumpy in my hotel bed?
What was it? Hot Camille?
Hot Camille is what they were calling her?
Yeah.
40% of the people who have substance abuse disorder don't commit IPV.
And those are the ones that do not have IPV risk factors, right? So we're talking about people
wait a minute.
who don't.
Isn't substance abuse disorder an IPV risk factor?
Oh, yeah. These are other people that don't have other risk factors.
Oh, yeah. A barrel roll.
But again, we're talking about people in general. You don't know anything about any particular individual as to whether anybody's going to commit IPV.
If statistics follow through, all we can say is more than 50%, 70% will. If you combine more risk factors you have, the more likely you're going to develop the illness. If you smoke cigarettes once, that might not correlate to lung cancer. If you smoke it chronically, that might.
Right,
so that's all I'm
we're
saying.
talking about individuals here. You either have lung cancer or you don't, right?
If you're smoking.
Right.
Right.
You either commit IPV or you didn't.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you either did or you didn't, yes.
Right. So you took some issue with me because I was asking about substance abuse generally.
They're like, we don't want to watch him drink his Gatorade. Cut away.
The disorder.
When he picks up the Gatorade, cut away. This isn't a Gatorade commercial.
Man.
Narcissistic personality.
His lip smacking while he's sipping that Gatorade is just, it's a cherry on top.
He's suckling on the Gatorade bottle.
This guy really doesn't care about being liked at all, does he?
You haven't made that diagnosis. You've just talked about the traits, right?
He's a hell of a man.
And
emphasis on the hell part.
Somebody can have these narcissistic personality traits and substance abuse disorder and never commit IPV, right?
So, along that line,
right.
about 80 to 90% of people who commit IPV have a personality disorder. So the answer is less than about 10% obviously do not.
Right. There are more close links with IPV for borderline personality disorder than narcissistic personality disorder. Correct, sir?
I'm not going to agree with that.
No?
I'm not saying there are more links. I would say to you there are absolute. If you're asking me if there are links, the answer is absolutely. If you're saying to me more, I can show studies, say yes, show studies, say that has not been absolutely definitively correlated. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Your Honor, allow me to drink some more of my codeine Gatorade concoction.
MDMA.
Oh, damn. Molly.
What is it?
Molly.
Ecstasy.
Yeah. And what's the normal dosage of ecstasy for people who use ecstasy?
Again, I couldn't tell you the quote-unquote normal dose because
I use way too much.
No one knows what they're getting when they're using it, right? It's not regulated,
Savage.
so.
It could be bunk as fuck,
The
too.
effects of ecstasy.
I don't know how many times I've
enhance
taken an
sense of
abnormal
well-being.
amount of ecstasy, but it was so fucking
At
stepped
low
on
doses,
that I
the
barely
answer is
fucking
yes.
tripped.
I'm
Your Honor.
going to gather when you're using it at higher doses and develop tolerance, you develop the sympathomimetic effects, which are not so enhanced well-being.
Increased extroversion, that's a symptom.
Again, at low dose, you are 100% right. At low amounts, you are 100% right. It is an entactogen. We feel closer to people. That's what people who use it say. They feel close to people, warmth to people, 100%. But with continual use and higher doses, it could be fatal.
Right.
So that's not well-being. I don't know if I call that well-being.
So continued use at higher doses, MDMA can be fatal, correct?
Correct.
What if you took 8 to 10 tablets of MDMA?
What if you took again, you don't know what it's very hard to say that. You don't know what it's what's the word I'm looking for? Contaminated with. Okay, you can't just say, hey, let me just take 8 to 10 pure ecstasy and see what happens. That's not going to happen. So what I would say to you again,
I've been to a lot of parties.
Yeah.
I'm just outside of Washington, D.C. I don't know how many congressional aides I've just bricked in, big globules of cum, and we probably took 20, 40, 60 tablets that night.
because substance abuse are unpredictable, they are not regulated. No one knows what they're going to. No one has any idea whether it's going to cause this empathic and tactogen effect at very low doses.
No one
or is it going
has
to cause the
very
sympathomimetic, increase, it's like a stimulant, like cocaine and stuff we talked about like that. No one knows what's going to happen. It's not regulated. And no one knows if you're using with other substances either, like other stimulants.
Or if you mix it with alcohol.
Or if you mix it with alcohol. No one knows if it's going to be potentially worse.
Right. But this is a potentially lethal combination. 8 to 10 MDMA tablets and alcohol.
This is a potentially toxic combination.
Right.
Can it kill you? Yeah, I mean, it is a potentially toxic combination. That's true.
Ever heard of someone cutting off their own finger on MDMA?
Have I ever heard of it?
Yeah.
No, I can only give you one example.
Hadn't seen that one.
Okay. I'll give you one example.
So, Seroquel. That one puts you to sleep, right?
If you want to phrase a barbiturate putting you to sleep, then the answer is yes.
If you believe that's what it's for, but a lot of people use it to maintain their relationship with Jesus Christ, our Savior. It's one of the 10 Gale Commandments.
I think it's the first one.
Yeah.
Mr. Depp talking about sometimes being on the nod, right?
And again, I think I explained Seroquel very well this morning.
Good. I'm going to ask him a few more questions.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Muffin Man's saying it's not a barbiturate. If that's the case, then this guy who is a psychiatrist, he should know, because this is a psychiatric medication, he should know which type of drug it is, right?
All right. You kept making references to street value. Why were you doing that?
Because that's why people with substance use disorder use quetiapine and Seroquel.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
That's why people who use quetiapine or Seroquel
I feel like this is just some homeless guy they found hanging out outside the courthouse, and they're like, "You want to be an expert witness? Here, let me." They gave him a shower and shave and gave him a new suit. They're like, "All right, you're a doctor, all right."
And I feel like this is every psychiatrist, male psychiatrist over the age of 40. I feel like he used to deal drugs, coke, to like Brett Kavanaugh back in the day. And that's how he got his position.
On the street because it's so barbiturate-like in effect.
Right, but you said that Mr. Depp had a prescription.
There are many substance use disorder patients who have prescriptions for Adderall and quetiapine from their doctor, and that doesn't mean they're not getting high out of it. That doesn't take much. Doctors like to believe what patients have to say. They're not going to go in there being expert witness testimony. All I'm telling you is that in people who have substance use disorder, it is not uncommon. And the thought was initially that because quetiapine was not addicting, that it's safe to give in people with substance use disorders, when in fact, we absolutely know it has street value. Absolutely know that for a fact.
Right, but my point about this is you made a bunch of testimony about street value, but you knew at the time you made the testimony that Mr. Depp, in fact, had a prescription.
He also had a prescription.
Yeah. He's making it sound like he bought it on a street corner, like in a back alley somewhere. But it was just prescribed.
And he's like, well, actually, we all know the same reason I am in the position I am. We subscribe these prescriptions to people as if we were in the streets. I'm a pusher. Johnny Depp's prescription was from a pusher. We all push these pills onto people, Your Honor. We all know this.
And oxycodone, does that count? Because that's also probably not a good thing. Just because you have prescription doesn't mean that.
I think Mr. Depp would agree with you it wasn't a good thing.
Just because you have a prescription doesn't mean you can't abuse it.
No, I'm not suggesting you're abusing it. I'm just wondering why your testimony was in any way tied to street value when every single drug you referenced,
because he's an idiot,
Mr. Depp had legally.
Again, you can have prescription substance abuse, and we know that, correct? No, I shouldn't be asking that. We can have prescription substance use disorders, and that's not uncommon if you look at the
I was going to talk to the jury.
Right now, we can have that. That's not an uncommon thing. Unfortunate, but uncommon. Not uncommon.
So, Seroquel, I think you described as a sleeping agent when used off-label?
When I saw what?
Sleeping agent.
When I saw
Seroquel
what?
When used off-label?
I can't help. I'm looking at this crowd again. I oftentimes I drift off and look into the crowd. There's like one row second from the back, and everyone in the row is wearing a mask. But that's the only row in this entire courtroom wearing a mask. And there's like 4 of them in that row, and they're all masked up. It's bothering me.
Which can be used sleeping agent. Yes.
Right. So, Mr. Depp's use of Seroquel could account for some of the photos we saw in this trial where he's asleep in a chair?
Again, what I would say to you is that if you have a substance use disorder, you are using it to be knocked out. Yes, I agree, but I'm not sure at the end of the day if she'd have vomitus over you either, because I've never seen Seroquel do that. So when he was passed out in the chair, he also had vomitus over him. I've never seen Seroquel do that ever.
Neurontin is another one of the drugs you testified about. That one's also prescribed, right?
Right.
Yes, it is.
And what's the prescription for that?
What's it used for? And what's its indication, or what's its used
what's its indication?
I mean, its indication is for seizures. It may have...
All right, let's skip ahead to the end here.
I kind of wish Gucci's would have went and sat in on the proceedings.
What, cognitive deficit?
So if I was giving a lecture and I was fed my lines, I would think there's a cognitive deficit.
I mean, she would get held in contempt and,
and maybe I'm
be
wrong.
arrested.
Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Hollywood stars get lines fed to them through earpieces all the time, and I don't know.
Or direction, not just lines.
It sounded to me to be unusual if you're doing a movie and you don't know the lines. But like you said, I'm just judging it on what I do with lectures, and that would never happen.
If you gave lectures, you wouldn't use an earpiece, but you're not going to tell anybody how to act.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said if you gave lectures, you wouldn't use an earpiece, but you're not telling anybody how to act.
Right, I would not use an earpiece during lectures.
I don't know if I skipped it or not. There's a part where he's like, did Marlon Brando use an earpiece? And the psychiatrist is like, isn't he dead? So no, he doesn't use one now. And they're like, we asked you, did he?
Right. But I don't know what the standard for care of standard as Hollywood is for that. I have no idea.
Marlon Brando was one of Hollywood's
use-
super sluts.
Your testimony about the use of an earpiece, as maybe you were wrong. You're comfortable with the fact that you may have made a mistake there?
No, because I think in the basis of what I've read about it, I'm comfortable that I don't believe that actors are routinely given their entire script through earpieces. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, but there's not one whit of evidence that this ever happened here.
I guess what I said. I just said I find it hard to believe. I didn't say it. I said I find it hard to believe.
He might be drinking
That's all I
pee-pee
said.
out of that Gatorade bottle.
What you found hard to believe, sir, was that every line of the script was pumped through an earpiece. Where did you ever get the idea that occurred?
That's what I have been. That's what I read in the court review, the court evidence. That's where I got it from.
Right. And you know whether Marlon Brando used an earpiece?
Oh yeah, here it is.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
So the answer is no. He does not use one.
Oh no, I used the past tense, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know nothing.
What a pathetic attempt to dodge a question.
I will concede to you. I know nothing about acting. I will concede to you 100%. If that is the standard and people are done that acting, then I apologize and that was wrong on my part. If that's the standard, I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay. Let's go with that. No further questions.
All right. Hello.
I do believe Marlon Brando was particularly rapey with a stick of butter.
So he was basically in the end like, oh, well, maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. And then they were like, no further questions.
There you go.
He was picked apart.
Marlon Brando, isn't he a zombie?
Yeah. Isn't he dead? So one quick reminder, everyone give the stream a like, and also the return of the DP Summer T-shirt sale. DP Summer 2020, or I'm sorry, DP Summer 22 at checkout to get 25% off everything in the store. And that includes a lot of new stuff. There's all sorts of new stuff. And classic stuff that was never released. I think this is Billy's current favorite.
Yes, everybody should buy and own this. You should go to church wearing this.
Link in the description to get to our store. I'll put it in the chat too. So everyone can go check it out. Everything in the store, 25% off. There's classic shirts and new stuff. There's a lot of new stuff. There's stuff that's classic that was never released that I also dug up and released.
Everybody should take that shirt with Ben and I as hot bikini-clad chicks, go to the club and wear the shirt in the club and demand the DJ play the I don't think you're ready for this jelly, and then bust it out when the song comes on. Bust it out. That's the best one right there, the Sweet Boys shirt. The second best one, I mean, after
there's
the big
all
old
sorts of
slutty
classics, and there's all the classic stuff. This smoke pan every day shirt, pretty amazing. Full pot every day. Nope, smoke pan every day.
Yeah, do not pull pot every day. We do not think you should pull pot every day.
And if you don't have all the money all at once, they do like a payment program where you can make payments over like 3 or 4 months, depending on what you're getting.
And remember, Drunken Peasants, the podcast, you support it by buying T-shirts. You support it by just liking, watching.
Yeah.
You support it by your contributions to the Patreon, to everything. You support it just by calling up a friend and telling a friend, you should watch Drunken Peasants podcast. It's bussin'.
Here's the DP wall tapestry, and you can get it as big as 88 by 104. That's pretty big.
88 by 104. You should get that and just cover your neighbor's car with it. And when they come up, they're like, what the hell? My car's missing.
Mobile.
My car's missing. There's just a gigantic DP flag tapestry in my parking lot. Got them.
Go check it out.
Got them.
DP Summer t-shirt sale going on for the next like 3 months.
Bobby.
But you want to get the shirts now. You don't want to wait.
Yeah, get them now so you're not wearing them in the fall. Wear them through the summer.
Yeah.
You don't want to order one and then just wear it through the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the sale will end on the fall equinox when summer officially ends.
Well, that's sad. Heartbreaking.
That's a while from now. And then maybe we'll come out with hoodies and stuff for the colder weather. All right. Who are we going to do here? This is King Cobes. But before we do that, here's the intro.
Your Honor, what Marlon Brando did on the set of Last Tango in Paris with that stick of butter is unforgivable.
I think it's more like unforgettable.
Oh?
Yeah, because you talk about it every time Marlon Brando is mentioned.
Just 7 times. Poop, poop. Fix so with the big hole. Stick it. Thank you.
All right, here's Cobes.
What up?
What up, Cobes?
So Cool Taste is making a stream about me. I don't care. Thanks for the shout out, bro. It's whatever. You want to collab on a video? Let's collab. I'm down to peacefully collab.
Nice.
With two YouTubers in the same goddamn town, there's no reason why we can't coexist. Anyway, someone left a comment in the chat, and when I heard it, I was just like, wow, my trolls are so fucking dumb. The tail end of the comment was basically, so Cobra can get laid and stop being a little bitch. And I'm like, wow. First of all, the only little bitch I see are my trolls.
Got him.
Second of all, waiting patiently and doing my thing on YouTube with trying to improve gender relations and be a gentleman
My guy.
is going to pay off. Regardless of hashtag simp shaming. Fuck simp shaming and fuck slut shaming, yes.
Yes.
Women either expect you to be a jerk to them, and that doesn't work. So
He always complains about what women want, but he has like no idea what they actually want.
And
He's
it
just
doesn't
like,
matter what women want. Women don't even know what they want. All you have to do is know what you want.
Go
and then
after-
women will be like, here, have this stick of butter, courtesy of Marlon Brando.
He just complains about what he thinks women actually want. Like he assumes it, and it's all very negative and all biased against him.
Asshole men.
Poor guy.
And they expect you to be nice to them, and then as soon as you try to be nice to them, you're called a simp. And I'm just like, what? How does that work?
I mean, it's more like you pay women on the internet to like do stuff for your gratification. That's kind of what a simp is.
Clue. However, beneath that madness, you can realize this. Ask yourself the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Would you want a girlfriend that treats you the way you treat her? And vice versa. What have I said before, YouTube? That women and men are just like each other. The only difference that separates us is women give birth to children and men do not.
Prove it.
And I get told, you need to get laid. And I'm like, anyone who says that, you need to get a life more than I need to get laid. People's obsession with my sex life is creepy, bruh. That's the kind of shit that is going to get me laid. Because, honestly, my troll's obsession is what's going to get me laid.
Troll obsession
like,
will turn to manifestation, and Cobes will get laid. They're probably, though, if you guys keep trolling Cobes, there's going to be some like girl out there who's like a fucking lol cow herself, and she'll be like, oh, yeah, if I fuck Cobes, everybody will talk about me. Let's go clout hop this Cobra dick. Let's go. One of you girls out there, do it.
Special about Cobra? Well, it's not just the autism. Could be the guitar playing. I mean, he's got a wicked sense of fucking humor. Smart ass with Asperger's.
Smart ass Asperger's.
I want to give you some secrets. Step 1, you act like you don't care if she thinks you're hot or not. Step 2, you're a gentleman. Step 3, you wait patiently and be chill. Step 4, just have a casual conversation. Step 5, you rock that tactical soap.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of steps.
I get positive reactions
I forgot
from other
already.
women when I wear that soap. So, yes.
Yeah.
You want to be like the Fonz? You want to have the Axe effect in real life? You want to
Like the Fonz? Like Henry Winkler?
I like how his sexual prowess pitch starts with the Fonz and Axe effect as like the positives. That's most something.
Definitely what's up.
That's something special.
Check that out, dude. That soap is Now, using pheromone soap to attract women, it's playing kind of dirty, but that soap will make it clean. Yes.
He's like, yes, I do believe pheromone soap is akin to Bill Cosby levels of rape, but
even if they're not the
it smells
prettiest,
nice.
There's a dude out there that'll want to shag you. Yeah. Give him a couple of give him a couple of no's, and you know, how badly does he want it? And that's true for women in that same regard.
His advice is very weird.
Women put up with enough assholes that eventually they're just like, you know, maybe they should give that simp a try. By the time they've done that simp is got a girlfriend that's 4 times hotter and of age, cisgendered, alive, consenting.
How many of you girls out there right now are fucking assholes? You're probably all fucking tons of assholes. Think about it. You could settle for a nice little Casper Wyoming simp.
They're all Cobb's cousins, though. That's the problem.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Poor girls.
All that jazz.
So
they can't
and
even
a
fuck
few of
Cobbs.
them, and a few of them are dead.
Could you imagine if you were like wanted to fuck Cobb so bad, but the only thing keeping you from fucking him was that you were like dead or an animal or his cousin? It sucks.
Non-animal, human.
Non-animal, human.
Female.
He's added so many. He's added like so much to it. There's so much criteria.
People are so obsessed with fucking pronouns. People are so goddamn obsessed with pronouns. I'm like, well, what about the con nouns? Well, somebody please think of the
con nouns. Pros and cons. These are the con nouns.
The con nouns?
Yeah, these are the pronouns, and the con nouns, are the non-pros. They're the bad nouns. See, he's a fucking really hilarious man. He's making himself crack up right now.
That Cobra's a smart ass. I'll tell you what. Is that what they call it? A brain fart? That one will make you think for a second.
No. It didn't make me think, Cobes.
How do you get the brain farts? Well, your brain's got to have thinking beans. And when you have thinking beans, your brain goes...
Are thinking beans a thing?
Unless you have a brain fart.
Did he just make up thinking beans to
Thinking
further...
beans.
I've heard of Franken beans. Does anybody out there know thinking beans? Is that like a colloquialism that I'm unfamiliar with?
Thinking beans.
I'm looking up thinking beans now, actually.
I remember.
You know what the best part about this is?
I remember dancing beans.
Yeah.
My trolls would be so fucking miserable if they were going through a dry spell like mine. They couldn't handle the harassment on top of it that I go through. And the best part of it is, most of my trolls have probably never been laid. In fact, I bet the only female contact my trolls get is when they force their mom to bathe their 46-year-old ass.
Whoa.
And she says, I'm not touching...
That's not non-related.
Mom, come bathe my ass. There is some reference to thinking beans, but it's not like a deep use. It's
deep.
It's a weird take for him to hit. Oh, I don't know. What a guy.
And you thought Chris Chan was a nasty motherfucker.
What?
I will admit that what I said to Cool Taste in the People Are Fake video, I wasn't talking about you smoking weed, dude. I was talking about you asking me for a shout out off camera, and then you know what I'm saying. Let me ask you this, Cool Taste.
You said you didn't care about Cool Taste, and now you're talking about him again.
Please don't use the name Autistany Spurgtano in the
You're
chat,
the one that
please.
misinterpreted what
It's
I
not
said.
appropriate.
I really don't care, honestly, because when you start a video and you go off on this ramble and then you stop halfway through and go, you forget what the fuck you were saying, most folks ain't gonna take you seriously, bud. Not trying to be a dick.
Not a sponsor.
Cheers to you. Like I said in the apology video, it's Cool Taste. It's the internet. Who gives a shit what people say?
I don't know. I think Cobes might be in an awkward phase, and I think he might age into like a sexier look soon. Like I don't feel like, because people keep saying he's slowly turning into the Crypt Keeper, but I think this is just an in-between phase when he finds his sexy stride. Because I think there's a better Cobes that we're gonna see.
Not unless someone else forces him to do it.
I wonder if I could talk him into going on a makeover.
He doesn't even talk to you.
I can talk
He doesn't
to
even
Copes.
talk to you. How can you talk him into something?
I can get hold of Copes.
Okay, do it. Let's
I
see.
will.
All right. So by the next episode, you'll have a report for.
No,
Okay.
no.
How about this time next week? Yeah.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, in time. Everything happens in time.
Just, you know what I'm saying? I think it's quite funny, to be honest. The society we live in shoves sex and marriage in our face. Women are told if you can't get married before you're 30, you're going to be a lonely cat lady the rest of your life. Men are told you need to get laid, and if you can't get laid, you're a little bitch, you can't do it. And you know what the bitch of it is?
or is
My
that
trolls,
you?
if they were in the same predicament, 4 times uglier than my autistic ass, can't get laid, never have been laid. And I guarantee you my trolls ain't getting laid, because if you're obsessing over trolling an autistic and Cool Taste who has MS and who's blind, I'm looking at the situation like, y'all are dumb. Me and Cool Taste aren't going to be sitting here like, oh, hey, what are the trolls saying about us? Because we don't give a shit. It's pointless.
The meeting of the
reason I
minds.
make this video is because it's laughable at this point. My trolls are the ones the trolls are the ones that are gonna get me laid more than anything.
I
Because
love
they're
this
making a big
theory
deal
that
out
he
of it, and
has.
It's just like, well, who the fuck is this KingCobraJFS guy? Who's this guy? It is a Wednesday at 4:21 p.m.
421.
Okay, you're not allowed to smoke indoors anymore, dude. It's not about being a poser. It's about abiding by the rules.
I like how they're trying to trick him into smoking indoors so he gets kicked out again.
And last time I showed off my CBD bud or whatever, what have you, bud, whatever, on camera here, I got a note.
Oh, God.
There was the first and only warning I needed. It was just like, yeah, obviously you can smoke it. Like, the cops in this town don't give a shit if you smoke pot. They'd rather you do that than other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
there are idiots out there who are getting
His
blasted
CBD
on fucking
bud?
alcohol and doing stupid shit.
What was it?
He was saying my CBD bud when I
Yeah.
showed my CBD bud on camera.
Yeah.
It's the fucking truth, dude.
I
You
wonder
think
if it
a
is-
cop's gonna
I wonder if it
enjoy
is just CBD and they like sell it at the local
They're
smoke
arresting a
shops or
pothead?
whatever. I don't know.
No. So what were you doing, man? Officer, I caught this man listening to Ozzy Osbourne and eating nacho cheese Doritos.
On his
The smoking
fucking
of the sweet
ramen.
leaf. Arrest him. Wait, what? Oh, come on, man.
He's acting out
Really?
a scene.
It's a raid!
Does he have an earpiece?
Running out of cigarettes. Fuck. Like, Crystal Roberts was telling me that Cool Taste felt like a piece of shit for, not saying now he's on here on stream telling it a different way, but it's just like, okay. I see how the game works.
Oh, damn.
At least the YouTube game. I mean, shit.
Do you think
People on
King
here
Cobra
are
is related
so
to Dick
fucking-
Cheney?
I don't know.
Fucking retarded. Like,
Maybe.
obviously, cool taste gets chicks. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? It's not just about having disabilities. I get chicks too, dude. I was hanging out with Crystal
That doesn't mean you're getting chicks. That means you hang out with them.
Roberts and Nicorette.
What?
What was that?
Cute of age fangirls, and I was having fun, and then some dickhead literally porn bombed us. It was gross.
Gross.
What was that person's name?
Nicorette? Nicole?
That was that's like nicotine gum, right?
Yeah, Nicole, she goes by Nicorette.
That's not what he said, though.
That did not sound like what he said. Unless she does actually go by what he said.
It sounds like
I was
the
assuming
name of,
she goes by Nicorette.
It sounds like the title of like one of those blaxploitation films in the 60s.
Don't need to go there.
What?
Don't need to go there.
Okay.
Not
And I was
today.
just like, well,
Not
goddamn
me.
it, now Crystal had to delete her fucking stream, and I'm like, that is horse crap.
Mr.
Just
Cool
like,
Ice?
bruh, Cobra's got some girls he can hang out with and stream with on streaming art, and it's just chill. It's not even about sex or getting laid or, oh my god, when's Cobra gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just about chilling and hanging out, dude. I can tell you from personal experience that a lot of chicks hate guys who are thirsty, especially if you're a good-looking chick. See, if you're a top-tier, good-looking dude with big muscles, it's a different story. Men are measured by how much pussy they can get.
There's a lot
It's
of like
disgusting.
porn accounts on Twitter, and the women all
If,
say that they're desperate sluts and they'll bang literally anybody in their porn accounts. And they have like videos like, I met this trucker at a gas station and blew him. And it's like all these like desperate women pretending, or like, I don't know if maybe they are this way, but their character is that they're literally fuck anybody to get people to subscribe to their OnlyFans and stuff. We should compile all of them and just mass bomb them saying, you should fuck King Cobra. If you're really a slut, you should go to Casper, Wyoming, and you should fuck King Cobra.
Why do you want to do so many favors for
What do you mean
King
favors?
Cobra?
This is for content. This is like, this is, King Cobra needs this. This is a gift, not to Cobra. This is a gift to the entire world. This is content. Plus, I'm a very giving person. Cobra obviously needs some help in this department. I'm
women are
going to
not
help
measured
him.
by how much dick they can get, because women can get dick whenever they want. All they gotta do is show up and say yes and be of age and consenting with their of age and consenting partner. And wait till you're in college for that shit, man. You don't want to get pregnant when you're in high school. All your female friends are going to prom with their boyfriends.
Listen to the bitterness.
Smart with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, look at you. You're fat and delivering a baby. It's like the size of a small watermelon, and your fucking vagina stretches like a...
I feel like King Cobra saw the new movie Men.
Ouch.
What did he
Instead of bitching about my fucking
Scott
dry
Gabos says,
stuff,
Billy, buy him a toot, money talks, BS walks. I mean, if it comes down to it, of course. I just, there's like 1,000 other ways to get consent for content.
I'm like, you know what? Let's focus on making my music, just making videos, the fans, getting more subscribers, my wands. Just doing my thing, dude. Playing guitar, which has gotten so much fucking faster. Instead of bitching about my fucking dry spell, it's just like, oh, hey, let's just do. You sneak onto Chatterbait, you find a nice of-age lady and do your thing, and then you're done. You don't have to sit here and whine about it like these chicks on BuzzFeed.
There won't be no talking while I'm doing my thing. You gotta keep it on
Why
the
is
hush.
it, though? If men are having shit luck with women and they bitch about it, it's because they're incels. But if women are facing the same crap, it's because they haven't found the right one yet. Fuck incels for that matter. And fuck these man-hater, feminazi cunts. Yes.
Based King Cobes.
Uterus nagging tits. Yeah.
King Cobra makes one so he doesn't have to worry about money.
Women are allowed to totally call each other cunts, but if a man uses it, it's somehow twice as offensive. I think that's sexist. Either no one's allowed to say it or we both have equal rights. Speaking of equal rights, YouTube, you cheeky bastard. Women should have equal pay to men, if not, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more because...
A little bit more?
A little bit.
Just give him a little bit more.
Not by much, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just because women should cost more.
There you go. Just a little bit more.
Fair, and that's
more to be a woman. Men wake up naturally
with us
beautiful.
on
Women got to
whole line.
cake on all types of bullshit to their face because they're ugly, decrepit
Pay
human
wage.
beings. Just
Women
costs
get
more to
paid
be a
less
woman.
and their shit costs more money. That's how the system does that. And it's fucked.
It's so fucked. The system's so fucked up against women. Women, the ugly creatures that are too weak to open fucking pickle jars.
But don't get it twisted, man. People abuse their gender
They deserve
privilege on both
a
sides.
small
and
amount
it's
more
fucked.
per hour. Like $15 an hour
Live
for
in a
men,
society where
$15.25
everyone's
an hour for
There
women.
were some gals, you hold the door for them. Oh my God, did I say gals? Was that like an outdated term? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that is an outdated
Okay,
term.
so I'll just say women.
Women.
So, okay, that's the word men, and now you can't say that. So
what?
Chicks, man. I'll just say that because, you know, that's how it is. You try to hold the door for some chicks and they get offended. Like, you're just trying to stare at my ass, and it's just like...
Thick Soul says, do you think the women are going to thank you for the
fucking hurt
25
you?
cents?
Whose
No, but they
balls
can
do we
take it to a
gotta
payphone and call somebody who cares. Got him!
fucking step on. You can't just try, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be a smart ass and say, well, I was gonna, but you ruined it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was kidding. Oh my God. Ah. But women are also told very similar things. If women are not getting laid or they don't have a boyfriend, they're being told you need a man in your life. And it's just like, shut up. It's not a need, it's a want.
Shut
And treating it like
up.
it's a need makes rejection and the lack of relationships in that department more depressing. It's the truth. The
I think
other half
human
of that
interaction
comes
is a
from
need.
Your own thinking, you know what I'm saying? If
Thick
you
Soul,
let it
does
make
Billy
you
also think there are
depressed, it'll make
payphones, you
depressed.
psycho?
If you
It's a
say there
fucking
are bigger
joke.
problems in the world, I got this. That's how you begin to
They
build
got rid of the payphones in New York today.
confidence, goddammit.
They still have a bunch in Europe, though, luckily.
They do.
Yeah. You know what the best part about this? All these trolls talking shit on me. Like, the only bitch here are my trolls.
So, everybody, what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to do the other part of this show over on Twitch. We're going to watch that one guy over on Twitch. You know what I'm talking about?
The one guy? I don't know what
the
you're
guy that
talking
was
about.
making all those videos to, like, tell everyone how much of a Play-Doh he's not.
Oh, the guy in the woods?
No, the other guy. We watched him last episode.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we're gonna. What is that guy's name?
I don't remember.
It is
Mark Boone Jr.
It's something it's James Robert Clark III. We're gonna watch some of that.
Ah.
Should be interesting over on twitch.tv/Drunken Peasants.
JRC3 over there on the twitch.tv/DP Drunken Peasants. That's it.
You all should go there because it's just the continuation of this show. We're going over there and going live.
He was the guy from Daria.
Yeah, he does. He does look like someone said that, and we all laughed because it's true.
Yeah.
So we're going over there right now. We're literally going over there right now. Twitch.tv/Drunken Peasants. Let's see.
Switch to Twitch. Part 2 of today's episode. We'll be wrapping up on twitch.tv/Drunken Peasants.
Yeah, go there. Twitch.tv/Drunken Peasants. Everybody.
The one guy with the face.
All right. We will see you over there right now.
In the beginning, there was was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet. Gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.